I'm broadcasting. Welcome, everybody, to the fourth Thursday Google Hangout in August for David Chelsea, cartoonist, illustrator, and myself. I'm going to enable screen share now. Yes, the entire screen. Let's see if it works. Share. Wonderful. That is exactly what I wanted to do. All right. So I'm going to keep it on the short side this time. Just going to have a few letters that I'm going to read, and I am going to do one short drawing demonstration. So these are going to take me to Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is read a letter. So this is an actual letter that actually came for my Patreon page, which is where I'm serializing a number of different comics. And this is a comment on a 24-hour comic called Are You Being Watched? That I'm actually running that in a couple of different forms, but the one that's being commented on is the 24-hour comic version. This is from Barbara Strauss, who is an actual Patreon. Hey, what the heck is that?
Are you actually screen sharing?
Am I actually screen sharing? You know, that's always the vital question. It looks like I'm screen sharing. Jacob was asking me if I'm actually screen sharing. I sure hope I am. Maybe you need to look on another device. Anyway, Barbara Strauss is an actual Patreon patron, somebody that contributes money to support my comics work, including Are You Being Watched? And this is her comment on an episode that ran last month. She says, "Hi, David. In latest mugs, I hope you know how to spell excursion and think you do, but notice that it was misspelled in the excursion rate statement. Cheers, Barbara." So I need to show this. Yes. Here it is. I'm going to. So this is what she's talking about. This is one of the last frames on page 21. And here I have a whole list of things, including a lunar excursion module, and I spelled it with an E. So in my defense, this was a 24-hour comic. This was the last page that I drew. I had been up for more than 24 hours. I was exhausted, understandably, and I made a momentary spelling error. I mean, and really, I just wish that people would cut me a little bit of slack. I will correct it in the webcomic version, which is something I'm working on now, which is being serialized on Patreon. So when this scene comes up, I will, of course, spell it correctly. So let's have the next letter. And thank you, Barbara, for your letter. Thanks any of you who want to send letters actually commenting on my actual comics work. Haven't gotten a lot of them yet. Anyway, this is a letter from the National Cremation Service. Dear David, trust is such a short word, and yet it takes such a long time to earn. We trust ourselves that we made the right decisions when we needed to, that we raised our family the best way we knew how, that we made sound financial decisions that have protected us in tough times. But sometimes we don't trust ourselves to make a decision regarding pre-planning for final arrangements because we don't have all the facts. Traditional funerals can be very expensive. Trust is most often earned with detailed information and those facts that speak for themselves. Consider this. Did you know that the average funeral could cost your family over $8,000? Cremation is a popular option all across America. Founded in 1973, National Cremation Service, NCS, delivers over 100,000 services each year, and has over 160,000 current members. As the nation's largest provider of cremation services, we pride ourselves in offering a simple, low-cost alternative to the high cost of funerals. NCS offers a comprehensive plan. Cremation services are usually far less complicated than other funeral alternatives, as well as being significantly less expensive. With the National Cremation Service, there are no complicated decisions or difficult choices. When you have decided cremation is for you, all you need to do is select the simple cremation plan. It's that easy. The National Cremation Service Plan includes NCS membership with access to facilities nationwide, removal and transportation of deceased to nearest NCS facility within 75 miles of residence, care and shelter of the deceased, cremation including a cremation container, fine wooden urn with memento kit. Trust yourself and trust NCS. By prearranging with National Cremation Service, you have made a conscious effort to spare your loved ones an emotional burden and have eliminated costly financial decisions during a stressful time. You've also ensured that your final wishes and desires are followed. If you are ready to trust your decision to plan ahead, then I invite you to inquire today and protect the trust that your family has in you. Sincerely, James Barron, Senior Vice President of Cremation Services. P.S. Complete and return the reply slip today to enter in the monthly drawing for your chance to win a free cremation plan. Last month's free cremation winner was David Frisby. So I have nothing in particular against NCS or its cremation plan. I probably will go with cremation when I die. I'm not planning to die anytime soon. But I trust my survivors not to get suckered into spending $8,000 on my funeral. It's just, I don't think that's likely. And all I know about your prices is that they're less than $8,000, which isn't saying a lot. And this arrived in an envelope that said, free cremation. So I'm a little miffed that all I get is a chance to enter a monthly drawing for a chance to win a free cremation plan. And, you know, as for last month's cremation winner was David Frisby, that sounds like a made-up name. So sorry, James Barron, I'm not going to sign up at this time. That is a decision deferred. So here's the last letter I'm going to read. And this came as a postcard from Southwest 2015 celebration. Dear David Chelsea, you're invited. Southwest Travel is pleased to invite you to an exciting VIP seminar. For your time and opinion, you will receive 2 round-trip coach class airline vouchers to select airports in the continental United States. The earliest callers will also receive a 3-day, 2-night stay at major 3-star hotels. Seating is limited at the 90-minute seminar. No purchase is required. To claim this special offer, call the toll-free number and use your promo code below. And this actually isn't signed. So the reply I would have to this letter is 90-minute seminar. That sounds like I'm going to get, I don't know, a sales pitch to join some travel club and or buy a timeshare. And that's 90 minutes I'm never going to get back. You know, and as far as the rest of it goes, it's all very non-specific. You get airplane tickets to go somewhere that has an airport, and if you're lucky, maybe you'll get a hotel room someplace. And, you know, there's no better place in the world than my hometown, Portland, Oregon. I don't have any plans to leave it anytime soon. I've got a lot of work, a lot of stuff to do. Don't particularly need a vacation, and definitely do not need that 90-minute seminar. So thanks, but no thanks, Southwest 2015 celebration. So now we're going to move on to the drawing demonstration. And I want to show something a little bit different. Let me find the file I wanted to show you. Yes, this is the one. So what I'm going to do this week, or this month, is do a demonstration of faux coquille board drawing, or faux keel board drawing. That's what my assistant Jacob Marcy calls it. So first, here's an example of a coquille board drawing. This is a drawing on pencil on textured paper. And when this is shot as line, it has the appearance of a stippled ink drawing. And the style that I do is that I will combine this drawing with a watercolor painting. And here what I've done is I've taken the drawing, I've scanned it, I've printed it out on watercolor paper, and I've added color to that. And what I will do is then I will take the original pencil drawing and turn it into a line file and combine it with the watercolor, oops, not that, in Photoshop. And it has a very striking and unique look to it. I like the combination of the stipply coquille board with the watercolor. So the only problem with this style is that it's very time consuming. I'm basically doing two separate pieces of art and combining them. So I am going to demonstrate a quicker way to achieve a similar effect. Not exactly identical, but close enough. So let me start with what I'm starting with, which is a photograph. And this is my own photograph. This is a drawing, or this is a photograph that is going to be used in a book I'm working on, which is my third perspective book called Perspective in Action. So I'm starting with this photograph. So I'm going to manipulate it a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to do some adjustments. I'm going to adjust the curves just to get a little bit, get it a little bit less dark in the darker areas. The next step is I'm going to adjust the saturation. I want to get it a little bit more colorful, maybe a lot more colorful. And the reason for that is the next step I'm going to take, which is I'm going to use the watercolor filter in Photoshop. So that has a tendency to darken things, so, which is why I lighten things. And it also has a tendency to tamp down the color. So now I've got something that has a nice kind of watercolory texture. And I might actually manipulate the curves a little bit on this one, because I think it's, I want to get the highlights a little lighter. So there, so that's one step. Now, my next step is to get out this page. This is a page of just coquille board texture, just basically the result of me running the pencil across a sheet and kind of actually taking a patch and pasting and repeating it. So this is a texture. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to find my picture, and I'm going to paste it. Maybe I need to do it again. I'll copy. There we go. Now I'm going to take the background, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to put it on top as a top layer. So the next step here is, in order to see what I'm doing a little better, I'm going to adjust the curves again to kind of make it a little lighter. And now I'm going to use the eraser tool to add outlines and sharpen details. And I'll try and do this quickly, but I'm basically just taking the eraser and finding the coquille board layer. So just kind of finding the lines in the picture and kind of making them stronger. And you'll notice that there's a lot of white. That underlying layer is basically black and white. And I don't want the white in the final image. What I want is a layer with the line on it overlying the color. And how I get to that is the next step. Something else I might do is replace the background, but I think I won't do that this time. I could, but I'm going to skip that stage. So what I might do is also maybe emphasize the shadow a bit. So I've got a very thin point on my eraser. So I am just kind of scribbling away. So I have an area that is darker, but it's not completely all coquille board. And this is like a mid-tone. So what we're looking at here is the top layer. Just as a little bit of an insurance, I'm going to save this. Oops. Come on. Oh, yeah, I'm going to save it. Sometimes Photoshop has been known to quit in the middle of a process. So it's, why is it? It's taking forever. There we go. I'm going to save it. Yeah. So I'm saving it. So now I'm going to take the bottom layer and I'm going to copy it. Just as insurance, just in case I lose it, because I'm about to really change this image. So first off, I'm going to go back to the top layer. I am going to change the mode to grayscale. And I'm going to flatten the whole image. I'm going to discard the color. And I'm going to adjust the curves a little more. Not that way. Yeah. Just to kind of, yeah. Okay. So now I have a very contrasty grayscale image, which I'm about to convert into bitmap. And that is the line-only mode in Photoshop. So now I have this, and I am going to now go back to grayscale. I ultimately want to go back to RGB, but you can't go directly from bitmap to RGB, at least in this version of Photoshop. Now I'm going to go, not CMYK. I'm going to go to RGB. And now, hopefully this works, I'm going to hit paste. And there is my color layer. So I'm going to take my background layer, I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm going to paste it. And now it's a layer that I can put on top of my color layer. And now I go to the magic wand tool and click on white and delete everything. So now this is pretty much the finished image. I'm going to flatten it. I'm going to save it. And that is my faux coquille board, which, as I will show you again, I am trying to simulate the look of that. And, you know, I believe I've come fairly close. And that is just about it. Oh, back to screen share. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing, all of you. Please, I welcome your letters. I welcome your visits to my Patreon page to catch my ongoing comic series, Are You Being Watched? And also visit me at my website, dchelsea.com. Bye-bye.